Okay, let's gonna start.
Okay, hello.
Well, yes, hello. This is my friend Sergey. He actually is in Canada, so we are gonna record some videos and lots of videos to the YouTube channel in through for a variety of purpose, which can be improve our communication and can be to serve better to others. We are gonna mix a lot of topics through these videos, like from the material dimension, relationships dimension, and even spiritual dimension. So we can be more like a whole as human beings and be more fulfilled. Because if we are one dimensionalized, what usually happens is like we don't tend to be happy. Okay, I don't know anyone which is only in the material dimension who is fulfilled, and it happens too only with the spiritual dimension. They don't tend to be that in that graceful state and from that blessing life. Okay, so we need to mix that three parts of life: body, mind, soul, material, relationship, spiritual, and so on. And if you want to present yourself, it's okay.
Yeah, I'm Sergey. I'm new here. Thank you for invite me to your podcast.
Yeah.
Uh, and yeah, I'm glad to be here. And yeah, man, the things you talk about, you okay?
Yes, yes. It's just the alarm, the night alarm for me. And I put it just to go to bed, but today is not gonna be like that.
Just to get back to your previous words, yeah, I'm completely in your path when you talk about the spiritual thing related with the mind, the body, and the soul.
Yeah,
Because sometimes when we start living, when we are like just a child, we focus always in a material statement because we like to have like sugar, we like toys, that because that's fun, But as you grow as a man, usually happens like you say like, okay, there is I'm looking for something else, I cannot be in the material statement forever because if something is missing, right? And you improve how to you look for find answers, and you find yourself in the best way. um, for the process, you find yourself, and you get like information about your soul and your spiritual mind. That's the process. I think all the kids, I refer as us like a kid, because we grow up as a kids, all the people. And sometimes we need maybe a 25 or 30 to get that jump, to escape to the material statement and focus in the mind inside, like stop looking outside and integrate yourself and looking a little bit inside, um, to find some answers and to improve yourself, to get better, uh, to get sometimes as well we want to look inside, to get a material reward. Sometimes it's like, okay, I want to do this travel or this way inside me, um, to find like something can help me in the material statement, and that's completely fine. But you gotta be focused, and you gotta be understand like the different statements in your life, and separate that and say like, okay, if I'm sad today, maybe it's for this reason, or my mind is doing like this process because I changed my location. I live in another part of the world, and that's what I'm sad. It's not because I'm a sad person. It's just something happened in my life, and I feel super sad. But in a couple of weeks, it's gonna fix it. You get used to, and nothing happens. And when you get that spiritual statement. If you don't have that spiritual statement, maybe a small change in your life, if you are in the material one, can be like the end of the world. But if you are integrate with yourself, and you know how to control yourself, and you talk with yourself a lot, you can destroy any problem you got in your life, right?
Yes. Yes, when we are in peace inside, we tend to take the right decisions and actions outside. So I think it's better. It doesn't mean that outside is gonna flourish at all levels, but it definitely tends to have some reflection of our
The
inner.
reflection.
Yes,
Yeah.
of
Your
um,
inner parts, your inner feelings can be reflected in other person, but you need to you gotta put some work on that inner parts, because if you don't work it, you don't have anything to reflect, right?
yes, yes. But I like to say that in our relationship there are three people.
Mhm.
First is the I am. It's a principle, spiritual principle too. Is this is who I am? This is who I really am, and I create and express and experience that, and from that you are going to create till some point your life and your work. The second person in that relationship is the we are, who we really are. Is our environment, okay? Is the way we have a conjunction with other people, we fusionate with others. So it's not Danny or Sergey, is Danny Sergey, something
Yeah.
between the two. And
Yeah.
that's another part, okay, of our reality. In fact, in this time I was, from some days and weeks, I'm actually starting focusing in the we are, and I start going to hiking. I find some extraordinary woman, not in a boyfriend girlfriend relationship, but yes, as wow, I like a lot this woman, and I start this project with Sergey too, just for start putting focus in the we are and try to create an environment where we tend to feel safe and confident and passionate and love, and from that all kind of stuff start happening in life. And the third person in the relationship is the you are, maybe as an individual as Sergey, or maybe as a plural as the people we are that actually can see this video. And from that three parts of the relationship you are creating the relationship, and you need to be aware of them and be aware of the three parts and how that works, because we are different. I have my own nature, so he has his own nature, and we have our own nature that it just fusionate in some ways, and we need to be aware of that to work properly. So yeah.
Mhm.
uh,
Yes.
well, if you want to say something, or we can start the video on the topic, but yes.
No, that's okay. I'm completely fine with what you said. Yeah, let's continue with the video. I think it's a good introduction.
Yes, this video we are going to talk about how to be isolated. First of all, the algebraist Jacobi famously said, invert, always invert. If you have proposed something in life, not the question is not only how do I achieve this. You can ask yourself to how do I fail in this, because if you ask that question you are going to start giving you answers, and you are going to realize what you need to avoid. And from that answer that you give, you probably are going to realize, okay, I'm making these three mistakes. And if you avoid them, your life actually is going to rise. So, in terms of social relationships, a big problem is isolation. It can be something good if you use it for growth as a human being, but it can go against you if you don't know how to get out of that state. Because at the end of the day, it's more of an state that in something that you have or don't have. Okay, it's a state and the actions that you are going to take from that state. That's it's my experience. So the first point, if you want to be isolated, is to stay in home and avoid every contact with humans and put whatever excuse that you want to put. Like, I don't mix too good with these guys, and I aspire to have all these kind of friends with all these relationships and connection. Yes, but maybe you are actually with some kind of friends that maybe you don't even connect to good, but it's something that it serves you to adapt, and you need to be adapt. You need adaptation. It's a capability that we all need in order to survive. So adaptation leads us to survive. But for life, a very good life, we need to evolve. But the base level is adaptation, is how we start. So many people that are staying home and they are isolated, they actually have some friends or contacts that if they push themselves to start talking with them, even when they don't have that kind of good relationship and connection, it can lead them to start being more open, start being more social, listen more to others, and from that, other possibilities can open to them. So yeah, if you don't want to be social and you want to be isolated, staying home, don't talk to anybody, just be alone. If you want to say something, Pedro?
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, if you want to be isolated, just clock your door, say like "fuck you, world," and stay in your home forever. That's perfect. I think you will be like super isolated. And yeah, for other thing, maybe the people who feel isolated and they don't want to keep it with that isolation, and maybe this video helps them. Another thing to change your mentality about that, or how to be like more isolated, is when you are saying to yourself like, no one's no one no one is like looking for me, no one trusts in myself, no one loves me, no one is proud of me. And you construct inside your mind like a lot of bad feelings uh, to drive you to the isolation. And if you want to be more isolated, just think about that. Think about like, no one likes you, no one loves you, I have no friends, my life suck, uh, um, no one cares about me. And you will 100% be isolated, because your subconscious mind is gonna do the rest, right?
Yes.
That's a good point.
Yes, we tend to create our life like that. Like all that stuff going on just affect us in our decisions and actions. And in fact, if you start taking action, like you already figured it out, okay, this is happening, I'm going to start taking action to avoid all of that. It works partially. Like you need to do some inner work. And if you only have the inner work, but you don't take actions, it works partially. You need both. Okay. Like at the end of the day, we need to work in this and work there.
Yeah,
Something that
it's
you need.
like the thought, the word, and the action, right?
Yes. Be aligned.
Like, yeah, 100%. Let's
And
go.
another point I think is don't hang out with your friends even when the plans are joyful, like being a party or going to a party or going to a concert. Maybe
Yes.
you are in a season of your life that you are like, I don't want this, it's not okay for me. And you are in
Yeah.
one of the biggest ways that you can do to destroy a relationship is to fulfill them with expectations. Okay, nature doesn't design us to cumplir las expectativas.
The expectations. Nature hasn't been
Design
designed
us
as
to,
to accomplish the expectations.
yes, of others, and others are not designed by nature to accomplish our own expectations. So at the end of the day, people work and people function based on who they really are, and they give
Yes.
the relationship what they naturally have to give to the relationship. And maybe we have some expectations, wanting them to changing or change them or and be different, so we can have some fulfillment in our emptiness. But we are not seeing them. We need to understand them in order to say, this is who they really are. This is what they naturally have to be. From that, yes, maybe we are gonna have a unfulfilled need, and one of the worst ways to communicate that, to worst ways to communicate that is not communicating that. We are in a world, and I think that they just raise us and educate us to don't communicate our needs. What I figured out is every time I have a problem with someone, because whatever, they don't answer to my message in WhatsApp, I realize I have to communicate this. Not because this is the solution, but because don't say, man, I really want and appreciate you to communicate and respond my message. If I don't say that, I know that it's not gonna fix the problem. But if I say that, maybe it's gonna fix the problem. And what I usually see is actually it fix the problem. People are human, and we have
Yeah.
basic traits that we can improve. So yes, hang out with your friends. Push yourself to go to some environments, even if you need to adapt. Another stuff is that no, this is definitely not for me. Okay, that's another point. But start by being adaptive. Okay,
Yeah,
to
being open, right?
yes, and from there you step by step, life is gonna teach you all the skills that you need to go to the next level. So yeah, for me, that's it. This is a point. If you want to share something,
Yeah. I think another point for being isolated could be like when you find like if you want to be isolated, you gotta find a hobby or something. Could be a work as well, and get obsessed with that, right? Uh, just think only about your hobby. Maybe could be like playing video games. Maybe could be like doing role play or whatever. The point is like maybe could be your work. Okay, your hobby could be your work, and and if you want to be isolated, just focus on it. Just focus, put your full attention on that, and that's it. Don't do anything else, and no one is gonna be like close to you, and no one is gonna care about you
yeah,
because you are in that point, which is sometimes could be good for you if you are obsessed with work because you can generate more money, but you gotta have like the mindset to understand what are you doing, right? Like to be consciousness, like okay, maybe I get obsessed with this, but in 6 months I will be finished, and after I will do different things to feel better. Because if you take a longer time with that obsession, it's gonna be like difficult for you in the future to get out from that, right? I imagine you've been doing like 10 years playing role play with table games. Okay, it's gonna be like so difficult for you than if you did only for 6 months. Like okay, I will do these 6 months role play with my friends, and after that I will go back to my work or whatever. And if you gotta do things in obsessed way, uh, because you like it, or because you want to earn money, you gonna improve your physique, you want to improve your mind, just do it. But get to know what are you doing every moment you wake up, like, okay, uh, maybe I put a lot of focus on this, but I know myself, I know who I am, I can go out from this. If I need social energy, I can go to other people. Because if you put your full energy in hobbies, work, obsessions, uh, maybe later you gotta find yourself without girlfriend, without friends, far away from your family. That's a good way to isolate. Yeah.
I can tell for my own experience. And even I'm gonna say something. I think obsession is part of our life, especially if you want to be very good at something. Okay, and it comes with a price, especially at the beginning. Maybe it gonna take some months or even years. But if you have that obsession and that immersion, yes, you can sacrifice absolutely everything to achieve whatever you propose. And usually you can achieve it. Okay, it was in what usually happens, but not in a way that you believe or think. And yes, it's a price. Um, and I'm yes, in fact, in that sense, especially at the beginning, because it's when it happens with damage, it's gonna hurt you. But
Yeah.
in that place, I'm gonna say you have to travel that way. You need to walk that way. It's
Yeah.
necessary. There is no other way. And after
Yeah.
a maybe some months or years, you are gonna start having some balance. So yes, you have your obsession, and you can have your relationships, your gym, your work, whatever.
Yeah.
And
You gotta go through the dark way, to the dark path sometimes if you want to improve. But be careful. It's
yes,
it's good to improve, but I think the most careful thing you can have always is when you have the consciousness in what are you doing, because if you know you are in a bad path, or walking around like dark trial or something, it's because you want it. You are doing something good for yourself, but it's not your way of life. It's not your lifestyle. Okay, your lifestyle should be you are a happy person. You have um, a lot of not happiness, but a good statement. A peaceful life. Because in other words, you cannot live as a human being longer than or you cannot be realize yourself, right?
yes,
You always be like in dark cloud in your mind. And if you don't know what are you doing, could be like the worst thing for you. But if you know what are you doing, could be the best thing for you, because after that comes the happiness, the peaceful, and all the rewards the life has for us.
yes, yes. It's the obsession that leads you to grow and expand yourself, paying a price at the beginning, or the obsession that you're putting, like playing some video games like League of Legends, let's gonna say, that can literally destroy your life, and you are gonna have nothing good from it. Okay, and I know some people that play a lot of that games, and they are just the yes, that was years of my life sent to trash.
Yeah,
And
for example, that example is easy because there is different games, because sometimes I play Mario Kart with my girlfriend, and it's just a bit, and you get fun, and that's it. But if you focus League of Legends, it was not like that. It was like playing a lot of hours. isolating yourself, like being alone, just only focus on that. You want to improve, 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 improve. And it's like, for what? It's not improving your real life, and it's like it's creating a mess here. And
Yes.
yeah, don't do that.
Games.
If you wanna play video games, just for fun, be consciousness of that. It's like, okay, this is for fun. I want to get, like, I have free time because you broke your arm, and you gotta be in the hospital, and you play some video games for fun to have like quick time, but don't focus your whole life around video games or around one obsession, because maybe even if that obsession is high performance, maybe if you are like a good athlete, and you working so much in your athlete, you can achieve goals. Maybe you can get the gold medal one times in your life, but after that you will don't find yourself, because you will say, okay, I did a lot of years destroying myself, obsessed with that, and I'm not happy. What happened? I have everything, money. Even if you hear Mike Tyson, the fight guy, if you listen him now, he's old, and he got the process, and the people is like interviewing him, like, oh, there is like a lot of trophies, gold medals. You did such a good job. And he was saying like, this is not value things. This is garbage. I don't want this, and he's the champion. He get like super obsessed, but at the end of the line, it has no meaning for him, and I think she has like a daughter, or I don't know how to say nieta in English, I forgot, but she has like a family, and
Granddaughter,
he,
maybe.
eh?
Daughter. The
Yeah,
daughter of your daughter. I was gonna say.
he has family, and he's like more focusing on that, because maybe he found like he wants to be more present or something, because he spent like a lot of his life performing in obsession, violent obsession, like hitting people, and super obsessed. And at the end of the line is like, I'm alone. What the fuck? I get a lot of rewards, but it's material stuff. I don't feel good with myself, And he's in. I think he talked about that, and now he's a different person. It's just a quick example. Like, even the most higher athletes, they can have that, like, that problem. Like, maybe their own life is the sport, and after they get like, even if you fail, even if you win, if you fail, you can think it is the end of the world, because it's like you never achieve your goal. But you gotta realize is, what are you doing always, if you are, why you failing, if it's worth for you, and for your happiness, and for your circle, because as human beings, if we control our mind, we can be like super happy with a less things, and we can be super unhappy with a lot of things, right?
Yes. 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 You said a lot of things.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Mike Tyson is one of the living examples of one man that actually grew in consciousness, which is weird. It's not common. Uh, yes, and a lot of high achievers, not only high athletes, a lot of high
Yeah.
achievers. They just realize that material success don't lead them to happiness. I think the material dimension, if you don't have it right, is gonna create a lot of suffering in your life. But if you
Yes.
already have enough, you probably are going to realize, okay, I avoid a lot of suffering, I eliminate it in my life, but still I'm not happy what is happening. And from that is relationships and usually spiritual dimension too.
Yeah.
From my experience, and I will say and observe that from other experience from other people and too. Another point is if you want to be isolated, you don't ask yourself what activities you really enjoy and go with people to them. Like if you like nature, you can go alone. I did it a lot of time, but actually I'm doing with people. I'm just going to hiking. I'm like a contemplative guy, so I like to be sit, just observe the nature more than walking. But walking is moderate activity. It's not something so exigent or
Not high performance activity.
yes, it doesn't demand you too much. And what I realize is people in that activity they usually tend to be themselves because nature has something beauty that it leads you to be in your own nature. It leads you to be in
In
flowing
a good
states,
connection
in more
with yourself.
open. Yes. And so people which goes to hiking and you are with them in that context, they tend to be more open, more natural, more themselves, and more who they really are. So I like it because it's like, oh, we have affinity in the nature. I enjoy it, and we have some activity, and we have a lot of interesting talks, which I don't find going to parties. Going to parties, I have another kind of talks and share interests maybe, but here I just figuring out that I know extraordinary people. So I think that if I want to be isolated now in my life, I should avoid hiking. I should avoid to go to these kind of activities that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
I think it happens too with others. And I know that maybe at the beginning it's like, I'm not too inspired to go to this activity, but I will suggest you just give it a little push to yourself. Just try it once or two times and see what do you feel, and you can be surprised. So yes, if I'm going to another country, as Sergey is actually in Canada, I think I probably go to hiking. Like I meet friends, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of good hikes here around. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
beautiful. And that's a good topic you said before because I was talking with my girlfriend and we thought we like to do plans together, but um, with a connection, right? Like if you walk alone, that's okay. But if you walk with someone like your girlfriend, like your friend, through the nature, or maybe if you like the city, through Madrid is beautiful sometimes, you know.
Yes.
Uh, you get like the connection with the environment. You get the personal connection you have with your friend or with your girlfriend, and you can find a lot of of yourself in the other person, in the other people doing the same activity because you have the connection for the activity, you different persons and you interact and you take like a lot of good stuff from one each other, you know.
Yes. So what do you how do I say? What activities do you really enjoy?
For
If
me,
you answer that, maybe you can start going to that kind of activities or some similar that maybe it's not 100% what you really enjoy, but you can meet some people that you are going to be surprised. And
yes.
yes, another is avoid every possibility to improve your social skills. Okay. Now, if I ask yourself, how do you improve your social skills? Maybe some answer is gonna pop up in your mind. Personally, I probably say be secure and confident. And not only you be secure and confident in the we are, in that principle, create that secureness and confidence so the other can start feeling in that way in the relationship. So for me, this is a way that I am actually improving my social skills. So if you ask yourself that and you acknowledge what answer you need, you can start applying, and then ask yourself the invert question, like, how do you not improve your social skills, or how do you destroy your social skills, maybe?
Yeah.
And probably for me, it's like being a very bad communicator, being angry all the time. Simple answers that if you acknowledge and you just avoid them, they work so well. So yeah, I will argue that. Do you want to say something, Sergey?
No, I think that was it was perfect. Like um, if you don't improve, if you want to be isolated, don't improve your social skill. That's it. It's like the meaning of not being isolated is being in social with another people. And if you avoid that skills, you will be isolated. Maybe you're walking through the city, but you don't have social skills. You don't talk to anyone. You will feel like the most alone person in the world. But maybe because you don't have that weapons, sometimes for people it's difficult just to approach to someone to ask anything, and that's because maybe your confidence, whatever. If you don't have that skill and you know it, you don't have it, just do it, man. Do it one time, do it two times, three times, whatever. You can improve in different ways, but if you want to improve your communication with people, you gotta communicate with the people, even with yourself, you have your inner talk and improving your social skills inside you, but um, at the end, if you don't talk with at the end, if you don't talk with the people, that skills they are useless, right? You gotta improve that skills, talk with you and talk with the others, and talk with you and talk with the others, and improve it. And after, if you get that like an habit, after a couple of months, you will see your progress, and you will see like you are becoming a social person. Maybe it's you get afraid because you change your personality, but if you are in a bad moment and you want to not be more isolated, just do it. Just put a little bit effort at the beginning. That's what you say, and after the things will be like running so much easier. Okay, yeah, that's what
Yes,
I'm saying.
yes. And social activities and or social state is like a muscle. Like it's something that we train. If you actually are not with no one and you don't have relationship, it can be like, at least for me in the past, feel like this, like a wow. Like, hey, in the past I just was so social, then I lost my friends, then I tried to interact with others, it doesn't work, I don't know why, but you feel more unsecure. But if you start pushing to other environments and you start have some station, you soon are gonna develop that social muscle, and you're gonna realize, oh, I tend to be in flow states again. So
Yes.
this is very good, and I think a very good point to be isolated and don't grow in your social dimension is to don't be yourself. And this be yourself can be the best advice ever, and probably the most not understand advice ever. Misunderstand advice ever. Like, because people are, no, I'm myself. I'm just don't do anything. I don't know myself. I don't like
Yeah.
anything. And it's like maybe this is not who you really are. Who
Yeah.
you really are, you need a process to be aware of it. You need to have some experience, some actions to take, some decisions, some questions. It takes a while to really say, this is who I really am. But if you ask yourself in your life, is this who is this who I really am? Is this who am I really? And you ask yourself that question in a lot of fields, like from nutrition, from your friends, from the activities, your work, okay, your whatever you are studying right now, or maybe your moments of rest, like playing a video game or whatever, or seeing some movies. Ask yourself that question: is this who I really am? And if the answer is yes, you are aligned. If the answer is no, you probably are going to say, okay, and who are you really? And the more you ask yourself that question, the more you are gonna figure it out your life. From that place, you are gonna realize the I am. Okay, you have some degree of auto-realization, and then you can go to the next step to the we are. Okay, I know who I am. Now I'm gonna push myself to the environments who are aligned with that, to the who we are. And for me, it's just going to nature with some people, actually, in my present moment, in this season of my life. And from that environments, I'm just in a flow state, like a lot. And here with Sergey, I am in a flow state in some degree. And I think that Sergey too. So we are in that state that things just works. And this is our environment. This is the we are. And for for this, it's so important to be yourself in essence. So if you are not in that place, it's gonna be harder to have some connection with you. And you maybe are not in that place, and you want to feel love, okay, from other person to they can see yourself and love yourself for who you really are, but you are not aware that you are making it too hard because you are not saying to the world, this is who I really am. The moment you are there, people can love you or hate you. You're gonna create some polarity there, okay? But people can really love you. If you are not in that place, it's hard to love you. Maybe you are like, ah, this guy in Spain we say es majo, and it's like, yeah, it's something like everybody likes you, but nobody loves you. It's like that friend that maybe some female friend present you and it's a woman or a man, and they all say, ah, you're gonna like it. But it's like something that people say and you start knowing that person, and yeah, it is likable, okay? But you don't love them. And for love someone, that person needs to be purely himself or herself, because then you are living from your own essence, and then you can have that kind of connection. That is my experience with myself, and that is my experience too when I want to connect with others. And for that, hiking, I just enjoy it a lot because I can see the essence of the other persons because they are aligned, and there are people there that only with see them, I know these people know what loneliness is, but they just learn the lessons. And now they are in other season of their life, and they are interesting people. This is
That's
what I
true.
experienced. So if you want to share something, Sergey.
No, that's true. The thing what you said, uh, I'm completely right with you. Yeah, you expressed so good. And I don't know if you have any more points about how to be isolated. I don't have more ideas for now.
Neither I do.
You do?
No, neither I do. I don't have it
Ah, neither,
either.
neither. It's neither. You neither, right? It's like when you say neither, it's just you finish with neither. Sería como un yo tampoco. Neither.
Yes, neither.
It's like
Okay.
you don't need to say to do or whatever. But yeah.
Okay.
Do it.
we can finish this video. I hope that you like it. If you see this video to this point, just give it a thumb up, put some comment below if you want to share some topic with you. If we know it, we can share from our experience and what we observe from others, so we can give you more value. And I think I'm gonna share with you. I want to give you more questions, more pure observations. I'm not only talking of maybe a lot of my experience, but I think that if I give you some questions and you really connect with them and ask yourself that kind of question and answer them, you can make some progress in your life. Okay, I like to say that the secret of life is a lattice work of mental models, ideas, and principles, and it really is. When you start operating from there, you can see your life from different perspectives, have different kind of answers to apply, and you can see how your life just rise. So yes, for me, this is a goodbye. If you want to say something, ready?
I'm completely fine. Let's see you next time.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.